set, go. Three guys, one mic, a lot of heavy. Oh yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm Geoff Crenshaw.
And I'm Ben Eastman.
And you're listening to Heavy Set, Go. Ben has, as far as if experiences in life were sandwiches, Ben's would be a Whopper. He just had...
Is that a fat joke?
Maybe. No, but... Ben just had quite the experience at a Plaid pantry with a gentleman, so to speak.
If that's what you want to call him, by all means, do so. But he was anything but. Backstory, little bit of backstory to lay the groundwork of this story.
You're coming home from work, right?
Coming home from work, and I just. Okay, let's start this at Crystal Pepsi. Okay, Crystal Pepsi came out. It's this clear Pepsi, which tastes pretty much just like Pepsi. Maybe it kind of tastes like Sprite. Maybe I only say that it kind of tastes like Sprite and Pepsi mixed because it's clear.
No, I taste it too.
I kind of taste it too. It's a little bit more airy, okay?
Yeah.
Anyways, it's a limited edition thing. You can barely find them anywhere. I found some a while ago. I bought a whole bunch. Told my friend Zach I was going to get one for him, right? I did get one for him. It stayed in my car over my vacation. When I went to bring it to him, I looked. The bottle was completely warped and it leaked everywhere into my car. And I didn't realize it.
You were gone for like 5 days.
Yeah, it was like 5 days.
It was 90-degree days each day.
So, stupid Ben. But anyways, I felt really bad because he was excited to get it, obviously. And so I've been looking at every, Plaid pantry and 7-Eleven around the bench to get him one, right? Well, I figured on my way home from work, let's pull over to this Plaid pantry. Let's check and see if they have them. Pull in the Plaid pantry. They have a whole bunch. Bought a few of them. Figured I'd get one to them. And as I'm leaving the store, I'm about ready to get in my car, and I see these two beautiful ladies pull up next to me in a red car. And both of them get out to walk into the store. And as they get out to walk into the store, a gentleman walks up behind my car, tight dark blue jeans, tucked in white shirt, greased pulled back hair, thick glasses, total like hipster 50s style guy walks up, and he grabs the door to hold it open for them, and he says loudly, "Ha! The best looking guy in the parking lot." Just like that. And I thought maybe they were friends that had pulled up, and they were joking. But looking more at the situation, the girls were like, "What?" And he was like, "I'm the best looking guy in the parking lot." And he then panned his head around the parking lot, looking at a few other guys, including myself, looking me straight in the eye, and go, "Yep." To all the guys.
Every time he made eye contact.
Every time he made eye contact with a guy that was presumably uglier than he was, he said "yep" in agreement that he was still the best looking guy in the parking lot. And when he got to me and looked me dead in my eye as I was in my car and said
"yep,"
girl. I know, right? He said, "Oh, yep, definitely yep," and looked at me. I just thought in my head, I'm like, I don't know how to respond to that arrogance. But let me just sit in my car and stew for a few minutes. Yeah. So he walks inside. I think, man, maybe I should wait for him to get out. Maybe I could at least say something. Not like I don't want to, fucking go at it with him. I just want to be like, well, you're kind of an asshole, I'm not a guy who likes to get in fights. I'm not a guy who likes to instigate. I've never been that guy.
Yeah, me neither.
If anything, I'm the exact opposite of that. I hate it. I just... want to go on, have a good time, whatever, be on my way. But he just pissed me off with that. And I decided to wait for a few minutes, and then he didn't come out yet, so I was like, well, you know what, I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave. So I go to pull out the car, and I pull out, and lo and behold, he comes walking out. So I go to the exit to drive onto the street, and I kind of look over, my window's down, and I look over and I see him getting into his car, and as I'm looking over to make sure that I can get into the street, we kind of lock eyes again, and he looks me in the eye as he's going out of the car, and then he gets back out and he's like, "What? You want to play ball?" I presume, I haven't looked in the dictionary. Play ball to me has always meant baseball, but based on his, tone of voice, I presume that play ball means to fight him or, go at it or something. And, in the
Sure it wasn't basketball?
I don't know. Maybe. I'm sure he's faster than me. I'm not a very athletic person.
You know how enraged...
Want me to score a 3 on you, bitch?
You know how enraged Myers Leonard gets.
Yeah, exactly. So, in the split second I had to reply to him before I needed to drive off into the oblivion, I just kind of thought of something quick to say because my window was down, and I looked at him and I said, you don't have to play ball with a bitch in order to know that you're the better man. In which I saw soaked into his eyes like a hammer raining down from the gods above, crushing him on the asphalt below him. And then I presumably peeled out into the street and drove off, which was funny because there was a lot of traffic. So I drove off into...
heavy traffic?
Yeah, into heavy traffic.
Did you get honked at?
No, but I saw him drive past me, and I saw him turn on the street. I thought about following him, but I thought, no, let's just
leave that alone.
Let's just leave that in the high.
You don't know what kind of temperament the guy has.
Exactly. Clearly the guy's a fucking douchebag.
A narcissist, at the very least.
Yeah.
And narcissists are entitled.
He is the best looking guy in that parking lot. Which, you know what? Put that on your LinkedIn. If you're the best looking guy in a Plaid Pantry parking lot, you know what? Be proud of it.
Did the chicks, after he explained the situation to them and put down every other guy in the parking lot, did the chicks "Oh, take me now, big fella"?
No, that's exactly not what happened.
Oh.
They didn't give him a negative reaction, but basically they did. It was kind of,
You weirdo.
It's like when you hear someone say something really bad, but you don't really want to have that, conversation with a person. It's like, oh, where you kind of, give them a courtesy, smile. Then you're like, oh, I'm going to get the fuck out of here.
Can't tell you many times I've had conversations
That's
like
exactly their reaction to it. So I could tell that they were like, wow, this guy's a fucking dick.
Yeah.
Can't
blame them for his behavior.
Nope, you can't.
But, that reminds me of two situations. One that pissed me off and one that amused me from my own life. To start with the one that pissed me off, I forget where I was coming from, but I was getting off the bus back by the apartments I used to live at. Mm-hmm. And I hit the crosswalk thing, and the crosswalk signal came up for me to walk. And I started walking, and this douchebag came around the corner when his light was red, and I think the little hand was blinking, but it was still my turn. He nearly hit me with the car, and he didn't say he didn't say anything. Oh, I'm so sorry, man. He rolled down his window, was like, all right, fat ass, you nearly got yourself killed. And he said that to me after he ran the light. And,
Jesus.
And very nearly could have killed me. And I stood there for a second as he was speeding off, and then I was like, fuck you! Although he probably didn't hear me. But
that's kind of a funny thing. As I grow older, I realize I get put in situations like that a lot more. Situations where people are just fucking dicks or assholes. Mm-hmm. And... Man, you often think of the best things to say later on.
Oh, yeah.
While you're still boiling. Because in that moment, I think I speak for everyone when I say that generally, most people, are good-natured people. You see you walk by a person, howdy,
How you doing?
Good,
Mm-hmm.
That's, or you nod, or you wink. Not the wink, but gesture. Hey,
it takes so little to be a decent person.
Exactly, it really does. And so when someone literally goes out of their way to be the exact opposite of that, I'm immediately taken back. Like, did that just happen?
Absolutely.
How do you react to it? What are the circumstances?
Oh, absolutely.
And you never can really... It's rare that I hit it like I want to.
Oh, yeah.
It's rare that I act the way that I should act. You know?
Absolutely.
Rarely, I've never got in a fist fight with someone. I've got some, I don't want that, but
I got into fights when I was a kid.
Got into someone's face, but I would say this Plaid Pantry one went fairly well.
Oh yeah, it sounds like you. It sounds like you got it about as good as you could have.
Yeah, I felt like I left that field winning that game.
The only thing you could have done that would have been more satisfying is if you
give him bloody nose.
No, I was just thinking cut one of his tires.
Oh yeah, that would have been nice.
But then you would have gone to jail probably.
Yeah.
So who did it? It was the big guy.
It was the lesser looking man in the Plaid Pantry.
Yeah.
But it's funny. It's like this week hasn't been a great week for me.
Yeah, you've been telling me that you've had a sucky week.
You go on vacation and you have just a wonderful time, and then you come back to work, and it's just like a shit show. And this week, I have been, I work in customer service, so I have pretty thick skin when it comes to dealing with customers.
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of wash myself of it as soon as I leave the store. It didn't used to be that way, but I got to the point where I could do that. But this week, man, you get called everything in the book. You fat ass, and being called a fag, and being told to fuck off, and I get it all the time on the phone because people are a lot more ballsy on the phone than they would be in person.
Oh, absolutely.
They just like to impulse say certain things, and one of my favorite things, how I always dealt with certain things, how I love to deal it with a little bit of
humor,
polished sarcasm.
Yeah.
Because if I were to come at it with fuck you too, then it's too easy. It's too easy. So how's the best way to combat it? I love it when I put my phone on mute. Like, say I'm looking up something for a customer.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, customers, when they call Best Buy, I think generally most of them think that their question will be automatic. The answer will automatically be known by that person. That's not the case, unfortunately.
They think
I know a lot of things about a lot of things.
Yeah.
But, if there's an issue with an order, I'm sorry I didn't know about it. Let me see what I can do for you, right? So my favorite type of issue, or my favorite type of thing that is fun for me, or how I turn something bad into something kind of fun for myself, because that's what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
So when you put the phone on mute and they think you can't hear what they're saying.
Oh,
and over the course of...
They think that they're shut off when they're on hold.
Yeah, they think that you're on hold, but really you've just put yourself on mute, so they can't hear you,
mm-hmm.
but you can still hear them.
So word of warning, people.
Yeah.
Don't be a douche.
If you can hear music and sound, if you're put on hold, it's dee 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 dee. No, they can't hear you. You can't hear them, right? But if they just say, "Hey, I'll be right back," and you don't hear anything, they can definitely hear you. It's word of warning. Mm-hmm. But since I've worked for Best Buy for a few years now, I've heard everything from a couple presumably having sex or doing something of sexual nature.
While on hold.
I know. Weird, right? I've also heard,
we're gonna get those deals.
I've also... I remember hearing one time... I don't remember exactly I don't know the circumstance, but I remember it had to do with a garden gnome. It was like a husband...
A garden
Yeah,
gnome?
I remember this. I actually posted a Facebook status about it. One time the husband goes, "What do you mean you don't have the garden gnome? Honey, that was what you're supposed to get from the store!" I remember thinking, man, that's the best thing I've ever heard. It was something like that. It was like that, and he was passionately saddened, and it had to do with a garden gnome and his wife. Really,
I'm picturing Rick Moranis in this situation.
So, and of course, this is all leading to they can't hear me, so they think I can't hear them. I had, many a circumstance where they're like, fucking douchebag. This fucker doesn't know anything. This, oh God, this guy sounds fat. I can just hear the fatness in his voice. Honestly, all these things I've heard, which is funny. Does my voice sound really that fat?
I say something that starts with B.
Briscoes. Fuck you. I know that was biscuits.
Yeah, it doesn't sound that fat.
Sound that
well,
fat.
the first time it really did.
Brisket. I know, because bacon. When you roll the B's, when you do a hard roll of the B, it sounds fat.
You know what it might have been?
Let me get to what I'm talking
You may have been breathing on the phone, and like less than you were, or more than you are. I mean, right now. That could have been it.
I have got. Are you running? I have got that before. No. Oh, there's just really heavy breathing. I have got that before. Sometimes you're out on the floor, like walking up the stairs. You're
Best Buy is a big place.
Yeah, and that thing's right in my mouth, and we all of my fellow filmmakers know that Ben does breathe into the camera when he gets a shot.
It's the Eastman technique.
It is. Anyways, let's get back from this deviation to the story. My favorite thing to do when I hear someone say something rude regarding myself that they think that I can't hear is to immediately unmute myself and say, "Oh, what was that, sir?" Or "What was that, ma'am?"
Ha!
And, I could go, "Hey, fuck you," you could go that way. But when you go, "Oh, what was that?"
It's like, oh shit.
Because usually what I hear from them is a very long period of silence. Because I know on the other end they're shitting fucking bricks. And sometimes they hang up. Sometimes, "Oh, well, no, what are you talking about?" I was like, they usually try to play it off like it didn't happen. "Oh, what are you talking about?" "Oh, well, I just heard you on the phone call me a fucking bitch. Was that true?" And they're like, "Oh, no, that wasn't towards you." I was like, "Oh, but you said that I sounded like a fucking bitch." So I love coming at it like that. Because then I feel like a little kindergarten teacher. Oh, then I can kind of do the power play, which I love. Which if my work hears this, they may fire me. But that's the best way to come at it.
Well, absolutely.
To acknowledge it, you just learn to deal with certain situations and. Try to not let it affect you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all you can do.
I remember one time there was a guy that was rude to me, but it was also funny. I had just gotten off work at Domino's, and I was walking down to the bus stop at Cornell, and it was like midday or something, and suddenly this truck that was driving by on Cornell slowed down and rolled down his window and yelled out the window, "Watch your weight!" And then he hit the gas and drove off. And I thought that was that was the most I guess decent insult, because it wasn't like, "Hey, you fat ass." It was it was delivered in a way that sounded concerning for my health. "Watch your weight!" So it made me laugh. Like, how would you react if someone did?
Alright, thanks! That's probably the nicest insult anyone who's fat could receive.
Yeah. "Hey buddy, here's a green vegetable." One time, slight deviation, as I've mentioned before, I used to work at Domino's, and I was always told how friendly I was with customers and stuff like that, and they apparently thought I was such a friendly presence that they decided to use me to represent the company. So often I was sent outside to wave the banner for them, and I would do that.
Geoff, we need you to represent Domino's. "Oh, let me rise to the occasion to represent this great pizza company, Domino's. What is it that you need of me, Mr. Domino? Geoff, in order to represent this company, we need you to take this. What is it, sir? This is a flippy sign that we need you to twirl like you've never twirled before on the street corner to get people to come to our... Oh. I will take this flippy sign.
Hey, Brett,
and I will represent this great pizza company to the best of my ability. All right.
Are you done?
I think I'm done.
In the beginning, it was all right. They had like a little umbrella hat that I could wear, and it shielded me from the sun. But for the most part, I was just right in the dead August heat, and people could be either nice or rude, or try to be nice, and it just comes off annoying. One piece of advice I have to say: if you see someone waving a sign, don't honk your horn at them. They do not like that. At least I didn't like it. It always startled me, and I was annoyed by it. So, but waving is nice. Like, hey, how you doing, pizza guy? Fun.
Or yeah, just an acknowledgement or something. I mean,
don't honk the horn though.
I used to have to get in a banana costume for Jamba Juice and go out.
Yeah.
And do the same thing on the street.
Oh yeah.
And at least if the people waved or nodded or something, I felt okay. They're on my side.
Anyway, like one time I was outside waving the sign, and I'd wave at people occasionally. And this, like, I forget what it was. It was like this beautiful silver Lexus or something. And in the passenger seat, there was this very, like, stately looking businesswoman. She had like a beige pantsuit. And she looked like she was well established in business. And here I am on the side of the road, this minimum wage worker flipping a sign. This woman, in her little silver Lexus, looked up at me as she was going by, and she flips me the bird, and I'm like, I'm thinking, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then after flipping me the bird for a few seconds, she like starts laughing and waves at me. It's like, no, it's okay.
No, it's okay. My bird that I just flipped doesn't really mean it.
Yeah, I was thinking, fuck you. What the fuck is your problem? And another time, but actually, like, someone who's clearly not as well off in life as she is, like, I don't know, I imagine that she had a high-powered commercial realty job or some other high-paying position. And even though there's a theory that I don't know if it's true. I've heard it enough, but I don't know if it's true or not. I haven't looked into it that much. There's a theory that women supposedly make 78 cents for every dollar a man earns. Even though that theory exists, I guarantee you that woman made a lot more money than I was, and she had no business flipping me off just for the hell of it. It gets freaking hot out in August. Where I would wave my sign, there was no real shadow to speak of. The way the position of the globe was where I was standing relative to trees, and there was just no shade. So I'd be out in the direct sunlight for hours on end, and they let me come in occasionally to get something to drink or whatever, but generally I try to avoid that. And one time, I was like thirsty and extremely hungry, and I had been in the sun for way too long. So maybe my judgment was slightly impaired, and these people pull up onto next to the corner where I'm waving the sign, and this like old looking car that a couple of young guys. It's like, hey man, it's like, hey, we got an extra Big Mac. Do you want it? And I think for a couple of seconds, and I'm, yes, I do. And they toss me a Big Mac out of the car and they drive off. And I open the bun and I look at it, looks good to me, and I start eating the Big Mac on the side of the road, which may not have been the best thing to do when representing Domino's, but I was so damn hungry.
There was a Burger King on that corner too, right?
There was a Burger King on that corner.
That's funny.
I used to go there all the time. I went in the summer months at least. I used to go in there during my breaks or whenever, and I'd get milkshakes there.
Oh yeah, they do have good reviews.
They're okay. They're not that good, but they were really cold.
Yeah.
And I needed something to bring my body temperature down.
Exactly.
I remember one time, early on, I would there's a place right near Domino's in the same parking lot, Bellagio's Pizza. Occasionally I'd say, oh, I'll hit Bellagio's on my lunch break. And I'd go, sometimes I could get pizza. Usually they didn't really have a great by the slice selection, so you'd have to order a full. They'd by the slice and whole pizzas, and usually they didn't have much in the way of by the slice, so I'd have to order a full one. So generally I'd go to the salad bin, get like a Cobb salad and a bottle of water, and I did that a few times. And one time I went and bought my salad. Keep in mind I was in my Domino shirt. And I walked back, and I had the salad, and my boss, Trish, is like, whoa, Geoff, that looks like a great salad. Where'd you get it? And I went to Bellagio's. And she's like, wait, did you go in your Domino's uniform? Oh, yes. In the future, Geoff, try not to do that. Take that shirt off before you go.
Speaking of funny things your workplace says about your uniform. It's a weird segue. I remember one time I was working for Jamba Juice.
Mm-hmm.
And generally, for certain special circumstances, the most trustworthy Jamba-ites would be sent on missions.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they would be sent to go get, usually it would be a supervisor or a manager that would go do this. But during certain circumstances, they would let, someone else do it. Whether it was going to get maybe an extra sherbet from a place because they had more sherbet and we needed extra or something.
Like you went to another location?
Yeah, sometimes that's the case. But sometimes there were orders that needed to be delivered, or, special orders, like someone could call into Jamba Juice, hey, I want, this mini smoothies.
Jamba delivers?
They, like for big, orders or something.
Huh?
So one time there was a big pre-delivery that we had done for a school. And sometimes they do, really big, events and stuff, and we'd have to come in, really early to make all of them and stuff, and, put them, box them up in these special containers, put them in the freezer. Well, one time, Aloha High School had to have 2 of these boxes delivered. And worst is that our managers couldn't leave the store at this time. And so I volunteered to drive to Aloha High School, with putting those in the back of my car. So they barely fit in the back of my car, and I drove over there to deliver them to the front office of Aloha High School. All was well. They had already paid, blah, blah, blah. Drop them off, drive back, come back, get on my shift. And I came back and I had my sweatshirt on. And my boss at that time went, did you deliver these with your sweatshirt on? And I was like, in my head, I'm like, I feel like I should probably say no. Because I think she's gonna, braid me if I had my sweatshirt on. So, no. I thought, oh, good. Because we want to make sure every delivery we have our full uniform on so we can represent our team well when we walk into a place. And I was like, oh yeah, I would never do that. I want to represent my team correctly by wearing the uniform. But really, I had stripped off my uniform and put on my sweatshirt and definitely didn't have it on when I was delivering that.
Question. Wouldn't... Now, I might just be using foolish logic, but wouldn't those...
What other logic is there?
Wouldn't those massive boxes of smoothies represent the company better than a Jamba t-shirt would?
Bro, you don't understand the Jamba way.
I guess not.
You don't understand living the Jamba values.
Oh my god. Speaking of Jamba, right now it's August, 21st, 22nd?
24th.
August 24th. That means we're coming up on September, and the 21st of which is the first day of fall, which means the pumpkin smash. You read my mind.
Fuck me, that shit's good.
Oh, I cannot wait.
I can remember the ingredients. It's like frozen yogurt, soy milk, and then they literally scoop pie filling. Literally,
is it like canned pie filling?
It's a canned pie filling into it, and it's that sweetness of the frozen yogurt that kind of seals that.
Oh god!
Because if you just did if you did soy milk on that, it wouldn't quite. But it's like it just tastes like better than pumpkin ice cream. It's just
Absolutely.
tastes like a fucking pumpkin pie.
Absolutely.
In liquid form.
Absolutely, I love it. I'm just getting the big ones, and probably not healthy, but why start caring about health now? You know what? Burgerville also has the pumpkin shakes that come out.
Those are good too.
Oh god, and they're different. I think
they are different.
They're creamier.
Well, yeah,
and
I mean it's different. I mean, this is a pumpkin smash smoothie versus a pumpkin
milkshake.
Milkshake's gonna have a lot of thick ice cream and heavy cream milk.
I don't know which I like better.
Smoothie
honestly.
is soy milk with low-fat soy milk with frozen yogurt, so it's got a thinner consistency, but you can get it made thick. But it's healthier for you
It's
than
healthier.
a milkshake. Yeah,
But in terms of enjoyment, they're different experiences.
exactly. Yeah,
But I don't know. I don't know which one I would choose if someone pointed a gun at me and forced me to pick between the two. You know.
Yeah, I think they're both pretty good. I mean,
Burgerville shakes,
yeah, you can't even.
The seasonal shakes.
Rarely can a place beat Burgerville shakes. I mean, that's their shit. And I love the seasonal. I love when they had a Marionberry shake once. Oh my god.
I think they still have it now, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh my god, that's whatever that. Pretty much anytime you go to Burgerville, anytime I go to Burgerville, if I'm not ordering just like a cheeseburger or something, I'm ordering what's in season, because the stuff that they have that are in season are all Walla Walla onions.
The Walla Walla onion burger.
Oh god, dude, and just rosemary. They have like rosemary chicken sandwich, rosemary fries.
Oh god.
I mean, they also have like a what's the thing that sometimes they have fried asparagus with like garlic aioli. Oh man, fuck, it's good.
That sounds right up my alley.
Yeah. Right up your
alley.
aioli.
Oh god.
Alley, aioli, aioli,
an
alley. They're all words that sound familiar.
My head is hurting now because you said that. Oh man, Burgerville. The sweet potato fries too, which that's coming up. I think that's a fall thing.
That's the thing. Burgerville's so damn good, but man, every time you go there, it's like, man, I think I got a meal that should suffice. All right, and your total is $23. What the fuck?
Yeah,
it's very expensive.
It's incredibly expensive. You know why it's expensive?
It's good.
Not only that, that's obviously part of it, but it has that regional thing to it. It's like you can't compare the two, even though theoretically you can. But I don't think one's better than the other. It's like how the Southwest has In-N-Out, the Northwest has Burgerville. Burgerville's not as celebrated as In-N-Out, but it has that like regional chain.
Yeah.
And they don't have as much of an area from which to make money as
and I think
like a Carl's Jr.
The kind of thing that's nice about Burgerville is that they're very integrated into that Northwest region. Like
Oh,
What is in season? Marionberry. Like, Marionberry is
absolutely.
an Oregon berry. Like, they're like, it's all like local stuff. Walla Walla onions. That's, Walla Walla is a city in south of Washington, southern Washington, and it's like they're using all that shit. So that's kind of a nice thing about it.
oh yeah, I think if, well, I couldn't recommend it as a cheap meal, but as a quick meal, I think out of tenors, if they want something quick and something that's a flavor of the Northwest, Burgerville, you really can't go wrong with it.
This is Heavy Set